So, hi everyone. Didn't think I would be, well, I didn't know if I'd be doing one today. So today's the 8th, and before I forget to say it, so if you're new, my name's Claire, and I say that because crystal clear visions, there might be something significant about September there, and you just saw the song Praying was ending. I'll talk about all that in a minute. Yeah, because I'm crystal clear visions, you might think my name's Crystal, so that's why I always say that, if you're new. Healing's weave for everything I do. I stopped really doing intros because it was just annoying me. So let's just get into it, right? So this is a twin flame channel. I'm a twin flame divine channel. It's about twin flames. If you're not interested in that, you're going to be bored as fuck, basically. And actually, even more complicated, if you're a twin flame but you're not at the particular bit that I'm picking up on the day I'm doing it, you might be bored too. So just you do you, boo. Right. So, like I said, that song just came on as I was saying. So September might be significant. It could be this upcoming September. There's going to be something significant about that, or it could be, I don't know, birthdays, anniversaries. Could be absolutely anything. But it's like I just felt a strong urgency, really, to come on and do a collective one for today. And I feel it is like, I feel there's people in pain. Like, that is what I'm feeling. I just feel it's like about a whole different variety of things for divine feminines and divine masculines and whoever this resonates with. So we'll just see what comes out with the cards. And yeah, so but before I say that, so what was kind of indicating me that, right, there was loads of things that happened in a row that was like, yeah, it's time to go and do this, because like I said, like, fact, today it's like, I was as predicted. I did have a bit of a, well, it was a late night for me, later night than I've had in a while. Me and my pal just watching all of our stuff and all the crazy synchronicities that happens with that. And one day I will definitely share all of that when it's right. But um, but yeah, this today's like, Wednesdays are kind of like a day off for me, but it depends what I've got to do. When I've got recorded readings and I've got the energy, I do them. So I've got our breathe Brianna one to do, and don't usually call you that. I don't usually call Brianna breathe, but that's what came out of my mouth. And and yeah, so I'm doing that after this, but it was like I needed to do this because it's like it's fresh in my head. So it was like, what was the songs that came on? It's just a lot of sort of like, yes, obviously it's going to be a lot of love songs, but it was, there's always a bit of a theme, and it was ones that's like, it's just this sort of feeling. And I suppose I called the one yesterday because those cards came out. Well, it was with the thumbnail. It was awakening and gratitude, wasn't it? That was on the thumbnail, and that's what I'm feeling today. It's like all the songs that are coming on are like talking about God and praying. As you saw, that last one was praying, and it's and it'll be interesting what comes on when I'm talking in the next one. But it's just all this feeling of like, if you give me back, if you give me one more chance, like, I promise I'll appreciate what it is I've got. Like, just give me one more chance. Like, that is the kind of feeling I'm getting. And it's not even so much like somebody saying that to a lover, it's like somebody saying that to God, like, please just give me one more opportunity to show, like, that I'm not that person, which is something like that, right? Beautiful, beautiful people. What are the words to that again? What could that? Everywhere I go, the only thing I see is beautiful people. Don't let them bring you down. No, the beauty is inside of you. Yeah. So take your sexy, take your time, take your time, take your sexy time. Don't lose your head, your beauty's deep inside. Yeah, so basically, again, that song to me could be, there's loads of things I could get out of that, but that's like, I feel they're sort of saying, oh, because look, fame, and it's weird, it's like in creepy letters. It's like, I feel that is what it is, it's like, if this is you, or let's face it, it's either going to be you or it's going to be your twin. I don't know what else it makes it 441. It's like getting caught up in that world, like, fame, fortune, might not be that extreme, but you know what I'm saying, like materialism, because that is what came out yesterday. And it's kind of like, or being caught up with beautiful people, and not all people that are beautiful are actually beautiful souls, you know what I'm saying? that's, oh yeah, and I suppose that is in line, right? So with the songs, I'm sure I'll pick out more songs, but the other one that was weird, so where am I getting that they were so right? So it was Praying was that last one when I started this, and then it was the song Dandelions came on right before it. And again, I do, obviously I like all the songs, they're all my light songs, but some of the ones that are on it, it's not so much that I like them in particular, it's because I know it's going to be good for when I'm doing this too. Like there's a few on there like that, and I usually say, oh, I don't like that song, but it's for this. Like for instance, loads of songs from 13 and 30 might come on because I just added them, but I do actually like the ones on there. But yeah, that brings me on to, so in that song Dandelions, it's, there is a bit that's like, you know, praying something, praying to God. I don't know. She says something about praying to God. So again, if it's this feeling of somebody's speaking, whether you realise it or not, like speaking to a higher power. Oh God, got the hiccups right as I've started. Whenever I get the hiccups or a burp or that, and I don't burp out loud, it's although that would be funny. Imagine that was just, yeah, burp out loud when I'm clearing. Some people do, but it's not what tends to happen. But it will now because I fucking said it anyway. But yeah. Anyway, I just call it 13, 30, 13 going to 30, and it literally is one of my favourites, right? I've said this before, but I know why it's significant, because it was like, and I'm sure I definitely have channeled about this before, but I probably would have said things maybe similar, different, I don't know, I can't even remember. But this today, what's coming through is it was very clear. It was like, she is divine masculine energy, because it's like, you know, if you haven't seen that, like the long and short of it is, it's like Freaky Friday and all that as well, isn't it? Like she basically, it goes from her being 13 to then she's, you know, she just basically really, really wants to be an adult. And so, but it's, you know, if you watch it yourself, if you haven't seen it, it's a good film. Especially, I was about to say especially if you're a girl, but listen, if you're a guy, you might be into chick flicks too, so who am I to say, right? But it's, basically she's not a very nice adult. That's the point. Like, you know, she's sleeping with somebody's husband at the office. She's doing the dirty on the opposite company. Like, you know, she's making a deal with them so that she can give them insight into, you know, she's just basically not a very nice human being, right? But it's like, because she wakes up in this life and she's her 13-year-old self in that adult body, she's like very childlike and innocent, right? And kind of like, what the fuck, like, you know what I mean? So when the, so when the, and there is a funny bit when it's like her boyfriend is coming on to her. She's like, "What are you doing?" And that kind of like, "Oh my God!" And like, you know, because it's like, which there is questionable things about. Anyway, I'm not going to go there, but you know, oh my God, and look, naked just came on as well. But that song's not about literally naked. It's about exposing your feelings, you know, like, this is how I feel, how do you feel? And that is a point that all twin flames do need to get to, as that adored romance is sitting there. But it's that kind of thing where, yeah, so I'm not going to go there, but there is issues, because it was like, that's what just occurred to me too. There's a bit in that film where she goes up to, because she's meant to be 13, she goes up to a boy about 30, I would say, you know, a younger boy, and it's kind of like, oh, I think you're really cute. But I mean, she's an adult in the film, so that is a bit fucked up. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's Hollywood doing weird shit in films. Anyway, I'm just saying, I know that's a bit deep, but it is, you know, it makes you think when you really have got your eyes open to this shit. But anyway, there's loads of things like that in that film. But in every film, when you've got your eyes wide fucking open, do you know what I mean? God, maybe there's that. Oh fuck, I've not even seen that. But I don't know if I have seen that film. I think I've seen bits of it. Anyway, but so even that means something. Everything I say when I'm channeling means something. Someone's got their eyes wide fucking open and they can see what they didn't see before. And that's what they were saying to me today in that film. It's like, that's divine masculine energy. It's been living a life that isn't really them when they've not awakened. And then when they wake up, they're like, what? She's kind of like, what? I'm not the kind of person that would sleep with someone's husband. I'm not the kind of person that would do the dirty on my boss. I'm not the kind of person that would fuck over my friend. You know what I mean? She's just kind of, and then it's like, you know, her friend's like, yeah, stop acting fucking innocent. You know what you've done. I've seen the letters and that. And it's kind of like, so she has no choice but to, you know, be like, fuck, I was about to say a really strong swear word there, but yeah, I'm a bit of an asshole. Do you know what I mean? That's not the word I was going to use. And then, you know, it's like seeking redemption. Again, it is this thing that keeps coming up, come to Jesus moment, as I'm looking at 33. or come to God moment, whatever you want to call it. It's like, you know, it's oh my God, and this is crazy. They're pulling me a statue of Jesus over there that I've got, so that is pretty crazy. It's yeah, it's like it's forgiveness, right? And there's a bit that I wrote it down because I thought I'm not going to remember it, but there's a bit in the film where she says to her mum. So when I'm saying she, this can go for a man as well. Which again, I was about to say the majority will be men, but actually not necessarily around here. Just stop and have a bit of my cup of soup. That seems to be my thing right now. So she says to her mum, what would you do over in life if you were given the chance? And her mum like kind of pauses and she goes, nothing. And she's like, why? And she's like, how come? You know, and she's like, well, and this is what the mum says, I've made a lot of mistakes, but I don't regret making any of them because then I wouldn't have learned how to make things right. And it just really stood out to me today. And I'm sure when I channeled for that wasn't the bit that stood out to me. But the point is, that's, you know, that is representative of 11:11 awakening again. That is representative of somebody realising, look, I might have lived my life this way up until this point, but something has happened to me where I'm kind of horrified with my actions and how I've treated people, and I want to make it right, like that mum said, you know what I mean? And then, you know, she goes about doing that, like trying to course correct and make things right, and, you know, apologise when she needs to and all that kind of stuff. And then obviously there is the whole romantic aspect of it as it gets to 11:44, where that's why I love that film, is that it's, and what's so funny is I always say this, like that was one of my favourites long before I knew that I was a twin flame or who was my twin flame. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of interesting how we do know kind of on a soul level. But yeah, I love it because it's like it's it's particularly, you know, I like that again, like I said, I do tend to like these films where it's like somebody really fucks up, but then they see the error of their ways and they try, you know, and they try to do better, because we all fuck up. We literally all fuck up. Nobody doesn't fuck up, right? I fuck up, you fuck up, we all fuck up. Do you know what I mean? It's like all we can do is try not to fuck up. It's like, you know, then we're still gonna fuck up. It's just life. So it's how we learn, like the characters in that film. But right, wait, what else are you trying to say to me with this? Right, so but with the romance sort of stuff, because I'll get in the love cards. Basically, so you know how it's like in that, so spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, I'm going to tell people so that they, you know, if they don't want to go and see it, or if they've seen it and they want to know what this has got to do with it, it's what I love about it is that it's like, it looks like, you know, he's basically saying, so it's like he's the divine feminine, which is usually when I'm channeling about films, it always seems to be that way around. I can't think of one lately where it's been the other way around. It's always that the man's the woman the man is the divine feminine and the woman is the divine masculine. So basically, in that film, it's definitely that way, because it's like he basically is kind of numb to life, really, and it's like he's, you know, he's not wanting to hurt anyone's feelings. So he basically is about to marry someone. I know that this happens in real life. He's about to marry someone, and it's like a wee back garden sort of in, and she sort of sneaks into the house, because again, it is meant to be very sort of like, you know, fantasy kind of, what do you call it, like kind of, yeah, it is meant to be fantasy, because I mean, one minute she's 13, the next minute she's 30. Do you know what I mean? So go with me with this. And that is kind of like, you know, the twin flame journey is pretty crazy, but it's like, you know, it's kind of, I suppose it would be like timeline jumping or something, wouldn't it? It would be, which takes us down all kinds of magical avenues, that all this stuff, you know, a lot, it is possible. Anyway, so like that's basically whichever way you want to see it. That's what I do for people in sessions. I heal timelines, past lives, you know, a clear energy, and if you heal the past around your feelings around it and the brain, it does change your present and your future. You stop fucking, you know, you stop fucking up as much. You stop fucking up of your own accord. You stop self-sabotaging. That's what I'm trying to say. And look how hard it was for me to get those words out. So don't say a victim, I actually think, is the message there. That, you know, I think a lot of people think, well, I've done it now, I'm fucked. And it's not true. Like, it's about, you know, taking personal responsibility, that there is something you can actually do about your life when you feel like you're going down not the wrong route, because like I just said, I believe in no regrets. We all take the path we're meant to take to learn from it. Actually, yeah, like I say, what that woman says in that film is very like what I say all the time anyway, so it's probably why I liked what she said. But yeah, basically, it's I love it because it looks like, yeah, he is going to choose I don't know if it is the easy route. It's the easy route, it's the boring route. It's the woman he's not in love with that doesn't light his fire because he doesn't want to hurt her or her family. But that's not a good reason to get married, guys. Do you know what I mean? Sorry, if somebody needs to hear that, it's true. Do you know what I mean? You don't be fucking getting married just to no hurt someone's feelings. That's because you're going to really hurt them in the long run. Um, I'm laughing because that's like a very familiar speech that I gave to a guy in a club once. I remember I always say that. It's happened many times with loads of people where I've basically given people that chat. Like, if you were going to chat up birds in a club, why did you marry someone? Do you know what I mean? Like, so, these guys that have chatted me up over the years, they've made a mistake fucking tell me they're married in the first place. Do you know what I mean? But I'm glad they did, because again, it's game over. It's like, nah, fuck that. You know what I mean? There. You know what I mean? There you go. I get why they're getting me to say that, because that's ones that have been honest, or ones that I've probably already knew that they're married. You know what I mean? But it's kind of like, think about the guys that don't tell girls out there that they're married, make out that they're single, and then you find out the next day that they're not. I think some of us out there will have made mistakes like that too. Do you know what I'm saying? Right. Basically, this is interesting today because spit out what you're wanting me to say. Yeah, so it's basically, yeah, in that film it looks like it's all went tits up, right? And then he's even like kind of, not in a good way, but he's kind of like, look, it's too late. So it's like that's the divine feminine saying divine masculine. Look, we went down different routes, we chose different paths. I've chose her, and that's her family down there, and they're good people, and she's like, right, fine. So then he gives her the house, right? That he'd made her this house, this pink house, when they were younger. And at the start of the film, she throws at him or something, or she doesn't appreciate what he's done. So again, you know what I mean? When I'm saying she, it's like the divine masculine not appreciating how sweet the love, or how sweet the connection was, or how much love and care like the divine feminine had for the divine masculine, because the divine feminine in that film is the guy. And then even when she's like, look, I'm so sorry I treated you like that, he's like, it doesn't matter. It was ages ago. We were kids. And she's like, no, it does matter. Because it does matter. It doesn't matter what age you're at. It does matter when somebody hurts you. And you should let somebody apologise to you when they realise that they've done that. Because otherwise, it's like you're not acknowledging how remorseful somebody feels. You know what I mean? So don't push it away. If somebody did hurt you, don't be like, oh, yeah, it didn't hurt me out being polite. Just be like, well, yeah, it did hurt me at the time, but I'm over it now, and and then don't go into like, but I don't fucking care, because that's where a lot of people would go into, and that would be falling into, if you're a woman, it'd be falling into being too masculine. Even if you're a man, it'd be falling into being too masculine. But it's kind of like, it would be like, yeah, it did hurt me at the time, and I appreciate you saying sorry, and I'm over it, and actually I just want to move forward with you. That would be the conversation that would go with twin flames. It would be like, yeah, that's basically what they're saying. But I love that film because it's kind of, it's like, even though I've seen it a million times, it's one of my favourites. It's like whenever I catch it, and I always catch it at the most magical, serendipitous times. But whether it's just for something for me, or it's like something I need to channel like this, and more often than not, well, it's both. Nah, it's both. I was going to say more often than not, it's going to be because I'm doing this every day or every other day, but it's not, because even for me, there was stuff in it that was really speaking just to me. Because sometimes I have to be like, right, is this just for me, or is this to share with the collective? Like, because I've channeled about this particular film before, but they're like, no, this is, you need to, somebody needs to hear whatever you're going to say by being influenced by that. And it was just kind of like, because you think it's like, he's picking the other woman that he's not in love with, and that he's, to kind of teach the other one a lesson, which would be ridiculous to do that. Like, that's why we say divine feminines, whatever your gender, don't cut your nose off, spite your face. If you're in love with your twin flame and they come back and they say sorry and they're trying to right their wrongs, don't play games. Don't make out like you don't want to be with them, because that's the old paradigm. That's just fucking stupid. But you have got a right to still keep your boundaries. If somebody is showing up and they're not, like I've said before, if they're not being real, if they're not being true. Now that doesn't mean if somebody sort of tiptoes in and is like, hey, how you doing, and they're a bit more casual with how they get in touch, give people a chance. Everybody's got a different way. But if somebody kind of comes in quite a I don't know, just a way that doesn't kind of feel right to you or something like that, then like making out like there is no deal and there's no kind of elephant in the room, then you do need to address that, I would say. Um, but the long and short of it is, at the end, if you're hearing me do that, by the way, I'm just drinking my soup, but I'm sure you're I'm sure you're aware of that. It's the long and short of it is, she then gets upset, takes the house away that he made her, and because this happens in life, but there is, like I said, there is variations of I could see what it symbolises. The glitter from the house falls on her, and or it goes up in the air, and then suddenly it's like, it's a different, I would say it's like a different story that starts unfolding, and it's a different timeline. Like, had she made different decisions right from back when she was 13, changes the age obviously, but that might be relevant to some people. Instead of chucking the gift that he gives her, she pushes him on the floor and kisses him. And he's like, whoa. And then it just, fast forward to, it's not him getting married to some girl he doesn't care about, it's him getting married to her. And so you see how, like, that's what they're saying, is that it's like, don't give up on your dream and don't cut your nose off to spite your face. So it depends which one you are, but don't feel sorry for yourself and let the one that you love get away. Oh, that was romantic. And don't cut your nose off despite your space. Oh God, I can't even fucking speak. But you see, this is always symbolic of somebody that can't get the words out. Don't cut your nose off despite your face. If you want that person and they're coming to you telling you that they want you, like, don't be like, oh, you done all this to me, so fuck you. Like, no, because then you're going to regret that. So I don't know who needs to hear it, but somebody needs to hear it out there. Right, and we must mean business because I took off the dressing gown because I do feel like I'm overheating. Oh, we're going with these ones today. Now, I'm sure there's one of these kicking about, like not in the deck. Well, we use them as well. It feels like I didn't use these yesterday. Let's use the chatty cards too. They've been getting a bit abandoned, and so there must be someone feeling a bit abandoned with me saying that. Attachments have been causing issues in this. Now that can be toxic habits or addictions of any kind, or it can be people that have been a bad influence. But let's put these over here. And then, yeah, they're just sort of reminding me at the end of that film as well, it's Madonna. Crazy for you, touch me once and you know it's true. I'll never want it. Right, okay, but anyway, I'll sing the whole thing. So just, that one. And that, again, I was about to say it's one of my favourites, but fucking hell, I've got too many. I like the song. I can't say it. I always just say it's one of my favourites, but it is, But somebody's crazy for you. That's the message. Let's see if will be so funny if this card backs it up. Or you're crazy for someone. And if you're twin flames, you're crazy for each other. Right. And I'm cringing like a mofo out here. I don't know, I was like, it's so funny. Before I went to do this, I was like, I really can't be arsed doing this today. Like, I feel like I'm in cringe mode. But I have to just push past that because it's my calling. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, there is... Oh, they're pulling me to them too. They want me to use all of them today. It's... people are like really in their feels, but I feel in their painful feels. And so because I know a lot of your birth charts, there's quite a few of my clients out there and just people that will tune in, particularly people that are the 1985ers out there, the ones with the North Nodes and Taurus and all that. I do feel a lot of your, and maybe even possibly people in my year, but it hit mine, that was a while ago. I can't remember if it was a month ago or a few weeks ago, but it's, I feel like Mars and Gemini maybe hitting a lot of your chirons, so that's not fun. Like when it hit mine, I'm pretty sure I was curled up in a ball in my bed crying. So I think that was like a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. I can't really remember, but I just remember being like, oh. And then there is something else, like again, sometimes I'll go in the ins and outs of what's going on in my chart, and other times I'll be vague, and it's for a reason. It's for the people that do fucked up shit with knowing that kind of stuff. But yeah, there's kind of similar stuff going on with my chart, so it's good that I get more of a rest today. But it's kind of interesting because it's different for different people. You look at finding out the truth crushed me. I honestly feel that someone awakening to to what this connection's all about. And perhaps like I'm even getting a feeling that it's like the divine masculines that didn't even realise that they're either two things, either who their true twin flame was, or they didn't realise that the feelings were as strong back to them, something like that. Obviously that's not for everyone, but it will be for someone. What else? Just being near you is intoxicating. That's probably why they made me sing Crazy for You, Touch Me. I don't know why, it's like I can't just sing a wee bit of it. I want to start singing the whole song. But, yeah, because, that whole song is like that, Trying hard to, what was it, wait a minute, oh no. Trying hard to, yeah, it's kind of like, somebody's trying to control how they feel around you, but it's hard. Sorry, I'm being immature now. Right, okay, so moving on, I'm sure you can. We will be together again. Moving on. Right, so my guys are funny. Leave it on my guys. Right, so also, by the way, there's something significant about the 8th, because when I done that healing activation hypnosis, where the fuck did that card go? I was going on about the number 8 a lot, so it is sort of I don't know where that card's went. And there's oh, I missed kissing you. That's nice. That was on the floor. Oh, there's another one. I'm not good at communicating my feelings with you. Where the fuck did that one go though? Oh, there it is. Time. This is and oh no, you're fucking joking me. That was 2 cards that just fell all over the floor. That's the one that fell on the floor. Time has brought me clarity about us. I made the wrong choices. Finding out the truth crushed me. That's really... I love this. This is fascinating because it's making sense of what they were saying to me. I wish you knew how grateful I am to have met you. That, jealous and possessive. I'm just reading the ones that are sticking out to me. Reminiscing. I miss you. I can see myself with you in the future. Oh yeah, and then that's kind of like what I was just saying about the end of that film. Because at the end of that film, it goes from her crying because he's about to marry someone else to then when it's like, she's like, nah, fuck this. This is not how the story ends. So that's the divine, oh, this is exciting. That's the divine masculine being like, nah, fuck this. I'm not letting my divine feminine get away. This is not how the story ends. Like with her with someone else or him with someone else, whatever your gender is. So it's like then it switches and it's like them getting married in the back garden, and also it ends and it's like the pink house that is something he made is their real house behind them. Do you know what I mean? And then they're sitting eating their childhood sweets. So it is a really sweet, kind of cute film, but it's very twin flamey because there's even a point in it. She's like, do you yeah, oh god, I'm fucking saying the whole film, just watch it. But I was going to say there's a bit in it when she's like, do you believe in soulmates? And he's like, don't know if I believe in them. And of course he doesn't, because he's about to marry somebody he doesn't even really, he's no fussed about. Like he was letting the woman arrange the whole wedding because he's not giving a fuck. And again, they keep showing me when I've had a chat like that over the years, but it was a particular time when I was basically saying that to someone that it's like, why did you make that decision if, you know what I mean, if you didn't want to get married? And it is just this, the answer I've always got in situations like that is kind of the same, but in that particular scenario, it was someone just being like, it was the next thing that made sense. See what I mean? It's a very masculine way of thinking, isn't it? But then you end up unhappy, right? What do we need to know? Emotionally unavailable. Yeah, look, then you're actually, ironically, emotionally unavailable to the person you've married. You know what I mean? Because you didn't really feel that crazy about them. I'm actually probably telling someone's story that did end up in this situation, or it's like a warning, people don't get into that. I dream of you. There is someone keeping me from you. Yeah, probably somebody. Do you know what I mean? This is, probably somebody's spouse, wife, husband, whatever it is, like, please don't give up on me. Destined connection, yeah. So it's basically, look, it's that today it feels like, not everyone's going to be married, not everyone's even going to be in a relationship, but it is good. Those bits are going to be for someone, and then I feel the other bits will make sense to other people, but it's like So it's either it is somebody realising, I feel I'm telling somebody's story, this might be past stuff, or it's, anyway, it's a bit of all of it, but it's like, the moment, whether this has happened to you or not, whether this is you or not, if it's not you, then just listen and, you know, get the popcorn. But it's like, this is the moment somebody, a person finds out what this connection really is, like that you're their twin flame, or that you find this out, that someone's your twin flame, and it makes sense. It's like your soulmate, your twin flame, whatever, you know, the words don't really matter, but it does actually. I've had conversations, you know, it does matter. Being a twin flame matters. So actually, I don't like when people say it doesn't, you know, it doesn't, because it does matter. I'm serious about that. So, but I just mean it doesn't matter in the sense of, if your twin flame doesn't really get the label, you can explain it to them. But they will. Give them some credit. I'm filled with regret. Yeah, so there is something about that, right? The marriage bit won't be for everyone, but it is for someone that it's like someone's woke up in the wrong life. That's what I'm getting again. I've said that before, but it's like someone's waking up in the wrong life. And that's basically why they've used that film. And they've got all this passion and desire for you, if you're the twin flame, if you're the one that's kind of resonating with waking up in the wrong life, or this is how your twin feels about you. I wish I could give you more, but there's obstacles, yeah. Mental health, yeah, somebody could be really struggling in their dark night of soul right now, but they feel like I feel like I can be my true self around you. They've got unhealthy attachments. You see, that's why they led me to that card that was sitting there from yesterday. Right, we don't seem to be doing a spread today, so let's just carry on with this, and then I'll put this timer on because I want to do Brianna's and then get back in my bed and see what other films on, to be honest. Right, so what have we got? What else do we need to know about whatever this means to someone out there? 2 cards came out. I want to contact our mutual friends to ask about you. I couldn't handle my true feelings for you, so I kept you as a friend and nothing more. So there's a lot about friends there, isn't it? It's like, so this may be the case that, you know, somebody kept you at arm's length because, not because they didn't like you, because they were really actually quite overwhelmed with the passion, desire that they had for you. And perhaps it was a bit taboo because they actually were with someone else, you know, something like that. Like I've said before, a lot of twin flames have so much passion, desire for one another, they can't even be friends. They'll just, you know, you want to be nowhere near each other because, ironically, you actually want to be very near, you know what I mean? Like, basically, if you're near each other, you'd be in bed kind of thing. It's like, that's what true twin flames are like. I don't care what everybody says, that is what it's like, you know what I mean? Like, well, that's what it's like with my twin flame dynamic. So again, I'm just talking from my experience, you know. Perhaps we're just a particularly passionate pair of twin flames, which I do believe we are. Right, so I want to contact our mutual friends. Right, okay. Wow, my throat chakra went really fucked up there. So, because I was going to make a joke about it, I was like, you know, you might not have any more. If you know, you might have had mutual friends in the past, you might not have them anymore because you have changed that much. You might not have the same friends. So, or you might. You are going to know in your situ. Time has brought me clarity. Time has brought clarity about us. I made the wrong choices. That's the same card out. All those cards that just came out again. I'm working on myself so I can give you the love and relationship you deserve. I love that because it's so like what I channeled. And it's 33 minutes, divine masculine energy. I don't know if you said that, but it matters, you know, whether I'm saying it this bit. That feels very like what I said about when I was channeling about the film. I think that it's like, yeah, I think that's a brilliant thing when somebody's reflected on how they've got somewhere. You know, I don't like when somebody's upset, but when somebody can sort of see that they're in a life that they're not feeling fulfilled or happy in, and they want to see what they can do about it, and it involves telling somebody that they fucked up and they want another chance, then what I think is good is when somebody does actually take the risk and do that. But what I think is sad is when people don't. You know what I mean? And there's just all different kinds of scenarios out there. So I've just picked up the ones that are on the floor, so we must have needed them. I think I actually picked them up without even being conscious that I'd just done that, because I was like, that's so weird. See what I mean? That's when I'm in such a trance and I'm doing this. I'm like, I don't remember picking them up. Right, so what do we need to know to go with this? I was pretending to be someone else. Yeah, this is what I just said. Like that, somebody that kept you at arm's length. So again, this could even be like, you know, you weren't necessarily friends, but it was like somebody went from being really hot with you to being really quite either cold and detached, or just not the same, you know, that passion, desire seemed to go away overnight, but that wasn't the truth. That's what they're saying to me. It's like, no, I never went away. It was just someone was afraid of what I was doing to them. Would I be rejected if I contacted you? Do you still want me? Yeah, and then that makes sense. It's like that person's like, they're going to reject me like I rejected them all that time ago. Or however long ago it was. Probably is a long time though, if you're... It doesn't need to be, it could be more recent. Long distance, but you see, what does that mean? Does that mean you live far away, or does that mean they feel so far away because so much water's went under the bridge? Twin flame, but oh my god, that card's not come out on this before yet, has it? But it's like, look, it doesn't matter the distance because you're twin flames. It doesn't matter how much time went past, it doesn't matter if decades went past, it doesn't matter how far away you live. If somebody wants to be with you, they'll make it happen when they're ready. Who the fuck's that? Our story isn't over yet. I'm going to have to answer the buzzer.